Hello and welcome to the denial. This is forever. In a moment, please turn left through the door and enter the parlor. If you have any bags, coats, or heavy items, please find a place for them and leave your things in the parlor. In the parlor there are a number of activities. In summary, explore the parlor. Look for tea lights. Leave your things. Wait for instructions, and wait for instructions. Leave your things in the parlor. In the parlor there are a number of activities. In summary, explore the parlor. Look for tea lights. Leave your things. Wait for instructions, and wait for instructions. Hello and welcome to the denial. This is forever.
2 3 days later, it was just considered quiet traditional music in Spain.
Doing, do you remember the Addict video I did way back? Like, I've been thinking a lot about the sort of morality of doing performances in this context, and how, like, what we do is, like, what we do is usually, like, bring joy to people or bring a message to people. But at the moment, like, in this situation, laws are laws, like, what we do to people is a kind of poison. And, like, some people are willing to just poison people a little bit under certain circumstances and in the sort of ways that are sort of justifiable to the law. But, like, in the end, you're still hurting people. Like, you're still hurting society by asking people to gather, whereas they otherwise wouldn't. Wow. So it's a thing I thought a lot about before coming here, and it's a thing I'm thinking even more about now that, like, you know, I kind of found my peace with the idea of people coming to see a show and them taking that extra risk upon themselves and behaving in the way that's moral to them. And then there's sort of this external morality where the government is making decisions based on a broader picture, but also their own selfish interests. So it's a hard thing to juggle my own morality, the audience's morality, and this external force. And it kind of seems like I have no control over any of it, because probably the best thing to do objectively is nothing. But that's sort of no solution anyway. It kind of means sort of death of the arts, or a kind of death of myself, because it means I have to kill off a whole bit of what I do that's maybe the right thing to do because it's the least selfish.
Whoa. Sense? Wow, that's quite...
Yeah. It's been a dark couple of days.
It's a can of worms as well, because the minute you start thinking about taking shows out and driving big vehicles around the country, you know, we've got a bit of a climate crisis which is slightly bigger than Corona, and we're all still investing in vehicles and diesel and electricity and flying, and so it's sort of, you know, we can't all become hunter-gathering small-holding owners or something, but then maybe that's what we need to do. But it's, I mean, I feel like you can do
it kind of objectively is, right? Like, it's just the questions I'm asking are sort of more about the comparison of value. So, like, the value that has to people, because I feel like the value of human life has a kind of supreme value, a sort of, it's kind of an ultimate trump card.
Yeah.
In that, like, there's certainly nothing more valuable than that. What do you say, Jack?
No, if it's a shit life, like what Shane is saying, you know, you need something to stimulate your brain and your body, and, you know, just like, if it's...
But I think it still does, because I think...
in a way, because you're stuck inside looking at the same four walls. Then I know, like, sort of, everyone is in that boat. It's like human life is the most important thing, but it's so undervalued how you've got, I don't know, it's sort of cliche, isn't it? But, you know, live to your max and all of that, but, like, go and explore. And if you're not getting your brain stimulated, or you are by some fucking flashing light TV box thing, but it's going to be, I don't know, quality over quantity in my eyes, but I'm not the government, so...
Annabelle, what do you
mean? Like,
what's your thoughts?
I think the arts are what have sustained people through lockdown, and it's hugely important. People have turned to the arts who've never attempted to learn music, write, do crafts, do, you know, sports, athletics, physical fitness. It's all become really, really important, and that's what's kept people going. I absolutely believe that, and I think it's. Do you remember at the beginning of lockdown when in Italy, in those little tiny streets, and the Italian police would turn up once a week and do a little performance, or the doors would burst open, you'd have these police officers performing an ABBA song in the street for 5 minutes, and that kept people going, and its performance is really hugely important, and people would look forward to it. That anticipation is massively important because you've got something to look forward to, which blatantly people haven't had. So I think it's I think it's what's sustaining people, and it's really, really valuable. And for you as well as performers, because that's what's been taken away from you. Barnes and I were talking about this the other night, is that Shayna and I were, as performers, you've had your audience taken away, and you've had your focus for your art taken away from you. So it's kind of, what's the point of making work? But actually, if you can do it in a safe, sustainable way, I think it's hugely valuable.
And you got to remember, the people that are coming are the people that have decided to come. You're not forcing people to come and see you.
Yeah.
Like, there's a massive split majority in this whole thing of like people just going, oh well, just may as well carry on because it's never going to leave, or no, we need to lock down until they find a cure or something like this. And I think you can give yourself a hard time, Eric, for being in a theatre show. The people that are coming to that theatre show know the risks that they're taking, are willing to do so, and then it's up to them, not you guys, if they then sort of self-isolate themselves from their elderly family because they've been to a theatre show or whatever. I don't think you can take all that on the chin. Like, it's their choice to be there.
One thing, like Barnes is talking about Good Morning Vietnam, but there's also the whole thing about like Circus to Borders. Like, there's a group called Circus to Borders, and they're taking like clowning to Palestine, or we went and did clowning at the refugee camp in Dunkirk. And it's a really bizarre thing, because being in that environment and people living in absolute squalor in the middle of winter and it's snowing, and then you're there dressed as a clown to basically play with the kids and entertain them. But it has value, it has massive value. Those kids are, for a little while, were drawn out of, their like everyday, really harsh environment. And laughing and playing games, and it does have value. But it did feel really wrong at points, But
Yeah.
there's also a lot of other people in that environment providing a lot of practical support. They're bombarded with like aid and different people turning up going, right, what can I do? And actually what needs to happen is the whole situation needs to change, and the whole like immigration system needs to change, and the aid's amazing, but there is a place for that. There's a place for that as well, for that entertainment.
It's like what Jack's mate said when we did the shows, well, we gave the tickets to the kids who came to Brighton. He says just for them to be invited and given tickets to a show, for them just to know there's someone out there who gives a shit, is one of the best things.
It is now time to leave the room and watch the projection. What's this? Oh, what's the projection? Oh, that big. Oh, God. Needs an audio, doesn't it? Needs that text set out. Clapped in me if it was like rain.
You are standing alone, dressed in a long white button-down shirt, in front of a white static trapeze. The room around you is vast and dark. You cannot see the walls, although they may be close. The only illuminated object is the trapeze.
You approach the trapeze. It comes to meet you, grazing you in the ribs. You take your right hand, placing it on the bar, tucking the thumb underneath. The other hand grabs as well, leaving your hands approximately shoulder width apart. Lowering your body down as if sitting in a chair, you bend your arms to come into a chin-up position. Your feet remain on the floor. From this position, you slowly bring your knees up into your chest, making sure to round in the abdominals, and using your strong arms, you bring your knees up under the bar so that you finish in a tight ball, hanging upside down. From your tight ball, you straighten your legs, extending your feet upwards towards the ceiling, hooking the inside of your feet on the ropes for stability. You pause here for a short breath and enjoy the experience of being upside down. Your legs now return down the ropes and hook onto the bar, so that now your knees are hooked in the center of the bar and your hands grasp firmly beside them. Taking one hand off the bar, you reach up as far as you can upwards towards the rope above, closing firmly with the thumb over the fingers. The other hand reaches to the other rope, so that both hands are equal height. Now your hands are on each rope, and your knees are hooked onto the bar. You are now going to push your hips forwards to slide the bar from the knee up the underside of the thigh so that the bar hooks underneath the sit bones on each leg. There. You are now sitting, facing straight forwards, with your arms bent. Your body is inside the ropes, with your hands grasping at eye level. From this position, you are going to rotate slightly to one side. For this time, we'll be turning to the right, so that you are now facing the right rope, and your back presses up against the left rope, so that the left rope aligns in between your shoulder blades. You use that rope behind you as a backrest, and relax. Your left leg is dangling down beneath the bar. The bar is placed in between your bum cheeks. And your right leg is extended directly out in front of you. You start to lean your upper body backwards, so that the rope passes in front of the left shoulder, and the left hand is then free to grab the rope at eye level next to the body. That left arm pulls forwards, pulling the rope in tight towards the pectoral muscle on the left side. The right hand releases the rope and comes across to join the left hand on its rope, only at waist height. From here, both arms straighten back, allowing the body to straighten out as if lying down, parallel to the floor below. The left leg now begins to rise. The toes first point up towards the ceiling and pass through the two ropes before continuing in a clockwise motion, taking the body with it, initiating a log roll turn. This log roll causes one rope to wrap around the waist and the other rope wraps around the lower thigh near the knee, holding you securely. You finish with one full turn. The hands that were holding on at eye level on the rope may now slowly release, allowing the head to dangle down towards the floor. The arms are now hanging down, dangling towards the floor in your final resting position. Your weight is hanging, supported by the tight wrap around your waist and around your thigh. A short breath. Your hands reach back up and re-grab the rope they left a few moments ago. The left leg, which had been dangling motionless, now straightens and initiates another log roll turn. This log roll unwraps your waist and unwraps your thigh, returning you back to the sit position where you began. You are now free to use the rope behind you as a backrest and relax. The right hand moves to the right rope. The left hand moves to the left rope. You turn your body forwards. You drop your bum down. You hook one knee. You hook two knees. You lean your body back and pull your straight legs over your head. Wait. Stop. This isn't working. This is not the same. It's not trapeze. Did you feel like you were doing trapeze? Did you? Really? I can't. This is... Oh, I know. We can just use digital technology and they can, imagine. Great. So great. Just as good as the real thing. Except there's no risk. And there's no reward. Okay, well, this is over. You should all get up now. Get up and get out. No, not out. This activity has now completed, and you may follow the signs to the next room. So, are we gonna be okay at the end of all this? What? At the end? Oh, yeah, I think we will be. But, I mean, I think it's undeniable that we'll come out of this changed. Hopefully for the better. Yeah? Well, it's like, because if not, then what will all of this have been for? What's this all been for? Well, yeah, like, why go through all of this? What's the point of all this? What's been the purpose? The purpose, yeah, I don't know. Well, I think it's like, do you remember that time we went for that long walk in View Park? Yeah, for like 5 hours. Was it 5 hours? Yeah, okay, so we went for a little walk in the park. We felt a bit anxious. That park, by the way, does not have 5 hours worth of walk. So we're walking, listening to Blinding Lights by The Weeknd over and over and over. Yeah, no, just on a loop for ages. Just nothing but that song. And at the end, in that moment, we didn't feel any change. We didn't feel any better. We were just, I guess we were trying to find a way to make ourselves feel better. But I think we must have changed something. You know? No, not really. Well, sometimes you just go for a walk for 5 hours, right? You have to learn ways to help yourself feel better. But we didn't feel any better. Right, but sometimes you gotta learn that, and sometimes you learn that that's not the way. When you think back, you think, that was all wrong. So the thing that we may have learned from all of this is that we learned nothing? No, because decisions, this is never final, you know? There's not going to be a period at the end of the sentence or in any kind of distinct way. This is forever. What, this pandemic is forever? No, and yes. Yes and no, though. Because, admit it, everything is forever. There's like a ghost that lives on after the event is finished. And the event doesn't have meaning. Or maybe it does in that moment, but like there's a ghost inside it, in that moment, that goes on even after the event is finished. And maybe that ghost is the purpose, you know? That's why it's worth connecting to that ghost. And to other people's ghosts, so you can get inside them. And connect to the inside. And that can be the point of this whole thing. And you know, in a way, this pandemic is forever. because those things stay with us.